Welcome back, Guardians. Welcome to a new mystery, a new chapter in our ever-continuing saga of discovery and intrigue. Today's topic revolves around the ever-elusive and controversial Stranger, who is recorded to be in multiple points, multiple timelines even, with abilities far beyond that of any other Guardian, if she truly is even a Guardian. The concept of the Stranger and the Exo program are intertwined, and thanks to the recent incursions on Mars, Guardians have uncovered more information on this shadowy figure. But of course, the truth and what we wish to be true are often different things. One spawned from fact and action, the other birthed by belief and incredible passion. The question we will attempt to answer is the true identity of the Exo Stranger and her origins. We will muster all the information at our disposal to truly engage this quandary, and ideally provide a concurrent synopsis of the facts for all to utilize. To begin, we should discuss, or at least briefly explain, the Exo program and the various connections that can be drawn to the Guardian Exos that walk amongst us, our metallic brothers and sisters of all sorts and sizes. The Exo program was detailed in a previous report, which I suggest you spend more time with to better understand the full extent of what Clovis Bray had intended. To summarize briefly, Exos are versions of humans, copied or at least with their consciousness transferred in a way that the Exo believes it is the real thing, not strictly a copy or a pre-programmed human. The Exo program itself was Clovis Bray's intention at solving an immortality and providing a clear and indentured workforce able to survive the harshest of planetary conditions. We must remember that before we were Guardians, surrounded by a clean wash of light, empowering us to great feats of impossibilities, we were first human, and as such, frail and weak. Humanity could never survive the harsh realities of space colonization without a severe change in its biological state, which, in this case, came from Clovis Bray and the Exo program. Be mindful, however, Exos of today won't appreciate being called a mechanical workforce. As far as the consensus is concerned, Exos are as much human as you or I. And the stories we've heard from the Vanguard reinforce that they are just as brave as any Awoken or human. The Stranger is one of these Exos, a part of the Clovis Bray program, but with one extra unique connection, separating her from almost every other Exo we know. In one of the Rasputin memory fragments, uncovered by our fellow Guardians on Mars, there is a line of text that directly states, quote, "Thank you for taking the time to piece together this message, friend. You and Anna have an important role to play in the events to come, so watch over her, Guardians. I would have no life without Anna or the Exo program. I regret that we have become strangers, but we have a path that we must walk, and ironically, there never seems to be enough time," unquote. An interesting choice of words, is it not? Or supposed Exo Stranger has hinted at various things. Firstly, a relationship with various Guardians, and a specific intrigue of Anna Bray, one of the most recent figureheads that spearheaded the Mars expedition in defense of Rasputin. Who could this Exo be? Why was there such an importance placed on both Anna Bray and the Exo program? Who is this elusive mentor, ever watchful in the shadows of time and space? Is it possible that this Exo in the mentioned report and the Stranger are connected? With only this piece of evidence, it is a stretch to put it lightly, but there are more reports we must cover. Come, Guardian, we will discover the truth of this together and set the record straight. In the memory cores from Anna Bray's intelligence mainframes, spread in specific docks just at her side, Guardians have begun to uncover various readings from an individual close to Anna, all with the dominating title, "Counting Down Until the Final Day of Divergence." In 25 days until Divergence, our engineer, is describing the various uses of the Hephaestus field units, a certain military testing node designed to measure the impact and effectiveness of field conditions for weapons. Specifically, our engineer understood that these nodes could be hidden, locked, and utilized to store information just as well as track intel. Perhaps the various nodes we've seen placed around Mars, unlocked with a certain weapon element, are not placed there by chance, but by someone attempting to relay a message to us. This engineer, perhaps. In 21 days until divergence, our engineer speaks of a fellow competing researcher that had received an offer for a research program on Venus, the Ishtar Academy, chief competitor to Clovis Bray's research institution. Now, in this report, our engineer states that sharing information between even competitors, while surely illegal by both corporations' policies, was needed for humanity to continue to grow into the stars. Quote, "It's a silly notion to lay claim to shared human knowledge," unquote, our engineer would state, defending the practice of trading ideas. But the ideal has merit, and perhaps, if humanity had more heart and less thought, we'd never be restarting a second golden age. Our engineer expressed interest in finding and utilization of a Vex core for a multitude of reasons and rationales, for the purpose of, say, time travel, or their attached multi-tool arm that functions as both weapon and constructor, perhaps even understanding their biological fluid and how to replicate it. In 12 days until divergence, this question is answered, and our engineer wants to utilize the Vex core for time travel, to miniaturize the core into applicable technology and understand the key simulation potential of the Vex core. Our engineer recorded, quote, "Jumping into an Einstein-Rosen bridge to travel in time has long been regarded fantasy by serious physicists. But what if there existed a computer so powerful it could indistinguishably simulate an entire alternative timeline? Based on my early research, this is the possibility of Vex technology. The key question would be whether one could take knowledge from a simulated timeline and alter the original. One step at a time, though." Amazing is the ingenuity of the Golden Age, that the drive of humanity when motivated by a strict curiosity is more reliable than any other plausible factor. Of course, the creation of such technology, especially within a corporation at the forefront of humanity's advancement, attracted a certain amount of military need. Imagine Exo soldiers being able to jump in and out of time, defeating enemies before they could even muster the thought or energy to mass against us. And even on a micro scale, changing the position of soldiers or even weapons in the blink of an eye. Such was the greed of Willa Bray, chief researcher for the Bray family, and the one most likely to build such military prowess from technology made by our engineer. In the final two divergence reports, our engineer states that the test nodes have been hidden across Mars by its hand, that certain technologies have been buried away in various vaults, all in the hope of saving Anna and the freeing of herself from a reality in which her technology was used maliciously. Quote, "I'm out of time. All I've got to do is hold on to is this hope, that I've moved enough of my tech into the vaults and that the visions of the future I've seen are accurate, that somehow, divorced from time and space, my words will find you. Please tell Anna I'm sorry and that I never wanted her to be dragged into this. You were smart enough to break my code, so I'll put my trust in you to use what I've created to make things right. One day, this will all make sense. I promise." Unquote. Again, our engineer has a specific connection to Anna Bray, almost familial, wouldn't you agree? The wording used in this intel suggests that our engineer has the ability, with the Vex core and the various Clovis Bray advancements, to understand and peer through the various visages provided by time. Could our engineer be Elise Bray? And by correlation to the rest of the reports, could this Elise Bray be the stranger Many Guardians have reported sighting on Luna, Venus, and beyond. The concept, and by data recovery comparison, do signify the potential comparison, just beyond it being some warlock's theory. And a great many scribes, warlocks, and cryptarchs whisper of this stranger being none other than Elise Bray. The connections and coincidences are just too convenient. But I pass this question to you, Guardians. Is the stranger, who has seemingly vanished after the death of the Heart in the Black Garden, yet another long-lost Bray family member whose technological comparisons and achievements launched the current Thought expedition? If Elise is the stranger, where is she now? Was there ever a connection between her and Osiris? Does she lead a secret war in various timelines, leaving notes and relics to guide us to her, to guide our hands and our light to protect our worlds from greater and more dangerous threats? In time, Guardians, and in this case, through time, all things may yet be revealed to us. In the meantime,